Oh hey guys, today we are giving you a tutorial on how to kickstart a Yamaha XT500 on a cold engine and on a hot engine, because they are glorious machines, but they are known to be a bit bitchy to kickstart. Before diving into the cold and the hot start routine, some basic rules. So only kickstart the motorcycle when the Kickstarter is in the right position, so you only want to use top dead center. You can either find it using your spyglass when it turns white, or you can find it by looking for the compression stroke, which is the moment where it gets tough, pulling your decompression lever one bit through, all the way up. That's the point where you want to kick. Then it should not kick back, unless you throttle. Never throttle while kickstarting, and unless the timing is off, but that's a different mistake. So let's dive into the cold start. When it comes out of your shed and it's cold outside, it will need some choke. The choke is here on the carb. You can put it on the halfway, for example. Put your key in the right position, which is often the first one. Put your kill switch off, your fuel on, and start kicking. So mine was already in the right position. You hold it against a compression, and it's on. If it's cold, don't gas, it doesn't like it. Don't use the throttle. Let it warm up a bit. And while riding, you can put the choke off if it's warm enough. That's how to start it cold. Woo. Ben je nog aan het filmen? So it might not start the first time, and you will have to kick a couple of times, especially when it's been in the shed for maybe a year or even longer. That way you can have two little tricks. Either one, you drain the floating chamber of your carb to get all the old fuel out, or you can sometimes, after kicking it 20 times, it will probably be drowned inside of the cylinder head. So you want some of the fuel out. You put your fuel off, put your ignition or key off, pull the decompression, and just kick it through a couple of times with full throttle to get all the gas out, and then start over. Because otherwise your spark plug will be wet as hell and it will not start. On to the warm start. So these bikes are actually a bit more notorious for their hot start. You are at the gas station, you just filled up, and it doesn't want to start anymore. What often happens is that the carb is overheated, and it will actually need a little bit more gas or some fresh air. The newer models, which started at 1980, they have a little hot start button at the bottom of their throttle axle on the carb, which you can press, and it will give a little bit more stationary revs, so it will start easier. If it's still not starting, or if you have one of these older bikes without the hot start button, you can use the same technique as with a drowned engine. You put off your gas and your ignition, you hold your decompression lever and you hold your throttle open, and kick it a couple of times through to get some cold air through the carb to cool off. If that's done, put everything back on, look for the compression point, push it a bit through, all the way up and down. If it's already warmed up, you can use a bit of throttle, but only after your foot is either up again or already off the Kickstarter. Don't slide off and gas, because it can really kick back and break your ankle. So that's how you start a Yamaha XT500 on a hot or a cold engine. My name is Wes from the Kickback Company. Check out our web shop for our latest XT merch, and subscribe to our channel for a lot more vintage enduro stoke.